Okay, listen, students. Already we have discussed about this. That is de Broglie matter waves. This is already finished. De Broglie matter waves. According to de Broglie matter waves, every particle which is moving with in the form of a wave, any material medium, if it is moving, okay, then it has to be moving in the form of a wave, including electron. If I am considering electron is acting as a particle, according to Louis de Broglie, electron is moving in the form of a wave. It is having a wave nature. Electron is having wave nature. Electron is having the wave nature. Okay, this already has been done under Louis de Broglie matter waves. And already we have derived this equation, lambda is equal to h divided by mv, that is h divided by square root of 2me, where m is the mass of the body, v is the velocity of that body, e is the kinetic energy of that body, h divided by square root of 2mev for an electron. V is the potential difference whatever we have applied. V is equal to potential difference applied. Applied potential difference is equal to V. These concepts already we have worked out. It has been finished. About these problems are also covered. Now, Louis de Broglie matter waves, it says that electron is behaving in the form of a wave. It is having the wave nature. This electron is behaving in the form of a wave or wave nature is experimentally proved by, okay, one is G.P. Thomson experiment, G.P. Thomson experiment, one experiment. Another experiment, according to your syllabus, whatever it is present, I can say it is Davison and Germer experiment. Davison-Germer experiment. So these two experiments also we had to study. Okay, this is theoretically. Theoretically, Louis de Broglie, he says that electron is behaving in the form of a wave, and we have derived all these equations. Now experimentally we have to prove. Experimentally we have to prove that electron is behaving in the form of a wave. Okay, understood. Today I will finish it off G.P. Thomson experiment. Maybe tomorrow I will take up Davison and Germer experiment. Okay. Yes. First idea, Louis de Broglie matter waves. Under that, we have already done. I had to teach G.P. Thomson experiment. Before taking up G.P. Thomson experiment, we are asking one 2 marks question. Under 2 marks question, an important question that we are asking here, that is define group velocity and wave velocity. Define group velocity and the wave velocity we are asking for 2 marks. One is the wave velocity, is also called by the name phase velocity. Wave velocity or is also called by the name the phase velocity. Phase velocity. How we are going to define the wave velocity or phase velocity? Each particle of matter, let us consider each particle of matter, like that of electron, proton, like this. You choose either electron or you choose the proton. Any particle which is made up of matter, it can be regarded as, it is consisting of a group of, consists of a group of waves. A group of waves. It consisting of a group of waves or a wave packet, a wave packet which is containing a wave packet. Each component of wave propagates, each component of this wave propagating with particular different velocity or definite velocity, which is called by the name the wave velocity. So again I will repeat, let us consider each particle of matter What do you mean by each particle of matter? Maybe electron, proton, like that, whatever it may be. It may be regarded as consisting of a group of waves or a wave packet. Each component wave propagates. Each component wave, each component of this component, whatever it is present here, that component, each component wave which is moving propagates with a definite velocity, which is called the wave velocity. That is called by the name the wave velocity, otherwise is called by the name the phase velocity. This carries 1 mark. Okay. Now let us consider group velocity. I will consider group velocity now. Define group velocity. This carries another 1 mark. Together we are asking. Okay. State wave velocity or define wave velocity and group velocity. 2 marks question. What do you mean by group velocity? When a disturbance consisting of a number of components waves, when a disturbance, if I am choosing a disturbance here, if I am choosing a disturbance here, the disturbance consisting of number of components which consists of a number of component waves. One wave, it is containing a number of component waves. Now each component wave here, that is traveling with slightly different velocity. The resultant velocity of this, the resultant velocity which give rise to periodicity. The resultant velocity which give rise to periodicity. The velocity of advancement of this periodicity is called by the name the group velocity. Okay, the velocity with which this periodicity is moving, the velocity of advance of this periodicity, is called by the name, the group velocity. Let us discuss this one quickly so that we can take up the next one. See that for 2 marks question. What do you mean by wave velocity or phase velocity? I will consider any particular matter. Each particle of the matter, like that of electron or proton, may be regarded as consisting of a group of waves or wave packet. Each component of this wave propagates with a definite velocity, that is called by the name the wave velocity. Okay. Group velocity means what? When a disturbance consisting of a number of component waves, then each component wave is traveling with slightly different velocities. A disturbance means it is a wave. A disturbance occurred in a medium is called by the name the wave. A disturbance in a medium which is containing a number of component waves, each and every component wave, whatever it is present, they are all traveling in different velocity. The resultant velocity is taken as periodicity. The velocity of advancement of this periodicity is called by the name group velocity. This carries 2 marks question. Very important 2 marks question that we are going to ask. Very important 2 marks question. Okay. Now the next one. Another important idea for 5 marks. Very important question for 5 marks. Next one. Or 6 marks question we are asking. Okay. What is that? G.P. Thomson experiment. G.P. Thomson's experiment. G.P. Thomson's experiment. G.P. Thomson's experiment. And don't forget, using this experiment, we had to prove. If they are asking what is the significance of G.P. Thomson experiment, if they are asking the significance of this experiment, what is that? Okay, wave nature of electron. The electron behaves in the form of waves. Wave nature of electron. Wave nature of electron is the significance. That is the outcome of this experiment. The outcome of this experiment, we have to prove that electron is behaving in the form of waves. Electron behaves in the form of waves. That's all we have to prove. Yes, for that purpose, G.P. Thomson, he has conducted an experiment. What he has conducted, how he has conducted, we are supposed to understand the concepts. For that purpose, for the experimental purpose, he has chosen a discharge tube. He has chosen a discharge tube. I am writing a discharge tube. Okay, you are aware of what is a discharge tube? It is a discharge tube. Okay, here whatever the air medium is there, we have to remove that one. For that purpose, it has been kept here. And the electrodes that we have to introduce here. Okay. Here whatever the air medium is present, that it is to be removed. Then only it is acting as a discharge tube. It is a knob. Okay. Here we are supposed to connect it to the pump to remove the air medium. This one, just like your TV discharge tube, it is present. Okay, this is a scintillation, whatever the screen, zinc sulfide, barium, platinum cyanide, like that the material is present here to make that electron, whenever it touches here, we are supposed to get a flash of light for that purpose. Otherwise, we can take a photographic plate, we can keep it and we can take the photograph. This P is the photographic plate. It is the photographic plate. We can take the photograph. Photographic plate. Okay. Instantaneously, we can take the photograph. Here, we are going to put one electrode. This is the slit, of course. This is the slit. To make the electron beam straight, that we are supposed to get it like this. This is a slit. Here we are going to connect it to an anode here. Like this. Here we are going to keep one thin foil. Very thin foil, it has been connected here, which is made up of gold. Gold thin foil, it is present here. The thickness of this thin foil is 10 to the power minus 8 meter. Here we are going to put a cathode. A concave structure is present. That concave structure is acting as the cathode. C, I will write. C is the cathode. A is the anode. Capital A is said to be taken as anode. A, anode. Okay. Now, here we are supposed to connect it to a high voltage of the order of around about 20,000 to 50,000 volts that we are applying. Imagine 20,000 to around about 50,000 volts that we are applying, which means to say that 20 kilovolts to 50 kilovolts that we are applying. This is the potential difference whatever we have applied. Potential difference whatever we have applied, that is equal to this much. Okay, between cathode and anode it has been connected like this. We have connected a battery here, high tension battery of the order of 20,000 volts, 20,000 volts to 50,000 volts. Across the cylinder here, anode and cathode that we are supposed to connect. So it is a vacuum chamber. The cathode emits the high energy electron beam. The cathode emits the high energetic electron beams. Electrons are produced lax together here. The electrons are producing here lax together like this. This is acting as a slit. All the electrons, whatever it is incidenting on this one, it is going to get stopped there only. But some other electrons, they are all moving through this small hole here. They are all coming out here. They are going to get streamlined. The electrons are going to get streamlined here using a narrow slit. Here, close together electrons are liberated. Here, lax together electrons only, it is passes through the slit, and then it is passes through the anode. The anode and cathode, they are maintained at a potential difference of 20,000 volts to 50,000 volts that we have applied between here and here. Therefore, electrons are accelerated through a potential difference of 20,000 volts to 50,000 volts. They are moving with a high speed. Here only the cathode, it's emitting a high energy electron beam. If you are applying a positive potential compared to that of the cathode here, the electron beam is going to get attracted towards the anode. Therefore, they are moving with a high speed here. They are moving with a high kinetic energy. And once they are moving with a high kinetic energy here, they are all moving in a straight line direction, and it is incidenting on this gold foil. It is a gold foil. This is a gold foil. Gold foil. This gold foil thickness is equal to 10 to the power minus 8 meter thickness. A very small thickness. It is a gold foil, I said, F-O-I-L, gold foil, having a smallest thickness, that is 10 to the power minus 8 meter gold foil. It has been taken here. This high speed electron beam, after accelerated through this potential, they are incidenting on this gold foil, and it has undergone diffraction. It has undergone diffraction. It will undergo diffraction here. So don't forget, now only I said diffraction. Whenever diffraction is observable here, you can say directly it is wave. Interference, diffraction can be possible to explain by using the wave theory only. So it undergoes diffraction. This produces diffraction. Just like X-ray, if it is incidenting, how the diffraction that takes place, like that you are going to see. This is whatever you are going to see. On the photography film, you are going to see the diffraction rings, you are going to see like this, of different orders, you are going to get it like this. This is whatever you are getting on the photographic plate. On the photographic plate, you are going to get like this. Different radius you are going on getting like this. This is one circle, this is one more circle, this is one more circle, this is one more circle, like that you are getting. Hoping that you have understood. Cathode C produces a high energy electron beam, that is cathode rays, inside the discharge tube. The electrons passing through the fine hole capital A, acting as an anode of course, are incidenting on a thin gold foil of thickness 10 to the power minus 8 meter. Then the electrons were accelerated through a potential difference of 20,000 to 50,000 volts across the cylinder here. The diffraction pattern, it is observed on the photographic plate. This is a photographic plate. On developing the photographic plate here, a series of concentric circles were found. A series of concentric circles were found on the photographic plate here, just similar to X-ray diffraction in powder method. This is similar to, if you want I will write similar to X-ray diffraction in powder method. In powder method, X-ray diffraction, what we are going to get it here, similar way you are going to get the concentric circles. You are going to get the concentric circles here. Okay, this is a gold foil of thickness 10 to the power minus 8 meter. Now, little bit mathematics I suppose to write. What is that? First we have to use the Bragg's law that we are supposed to use. We are supposed to use the Bragg's law. Okay, 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda. That is X-ray diffraction concept. Okay, anyhow, before taking up that, let us consider this is the crystal or plane. I can consider the gold foil plane, maybe present like this. It is a crystal plane. Let me consider it is a crystal plane. I am writing, this is a thin one, but I have written a little bit bigger. This is incidenting ray. The ray is incident like this. This is incident ray. This is incident ray. Okay. So once the incident ray is incidenting like this on this crystal plane, this is crystal plane. This is crystal plane. This is crystal. On this crystal plane it is incidenting. It is undergone diffraction here. Therefore, it is some of them they are going to get reflecting like this. Okay. Some of them they are coming out like this. Coming out like this, and you are going to have here this photographic plate. This is coming to reach here. Okay, this distance is said to be taken as r, radius. It is reaching here. Actually, it reaches here. That I have not written. It reaches here. That radius is r. This is angle theta. This is also angle theta. This is said to be taken as L. This distance between the crystal plane to the photographic plate. This is photographic plate. Photographic plate. That is L. Okay. This is through the A point, it is gone incidenting and this is reflected light, and this is scattered light energy is said to be existing in the form of diffraction. Diffraction is said to be taken out. So here, theta is called by the name. Sir, what is this theta if you are saying? It is called by the name glancing angle. Theta is called by the name the glancing angle. And what is that D if I want to consider here? D is distance between the crystal lattice. Distance between, here I have not mentioned that one. Distance between the crystal lattice. Crystal lattice. What is that crystal lattice? Okay, I will explain here. If you are choosing any crystal if you are choosing, that crystal is having a definite structure here. Don't forget, this is the atomic, whatever the array of atoms are arranging here. These are all the atoms. Inside the crystal, atoms are aligning in a particular manner, in a particular array is present. Now X-ray if you are introducing here, It has undergone diffraction like this. And the distance between one atom to another atom, this distance is said to be taken as d here. This is said to be taken as d. Using this one, Bragg